Greetings everyone, this is Pintpot. Now my latest episode, I'm going to take a look at upgrading the Engineer class. The Engineer is one of the two support classes along with the Medic. It is also, after the Medic, the easiest class to gain experience with and therefore certs. However, unlike the Medic, it doesn't have nearly as linear an upgrade path. Essentially with the Medic it boils down to improve your medical tool. But with the Engineer there's a much more diverse selection of improvements you can choose from. The only downside of which is it gets rather expensive trying to upgrade all of them. So therefore what you upgrade first is a question of priorities. How are you as a player intending to use your Engineer? Vehicle driver, max support, or demolition expert? However, before we look at the options in more detail, let's have a look at those things you should upgrade regardless. Now the first thing to consider is upgrading your suit slot. Similar to the Medic, the two obvious choices are Nano-Armour and Flak armour. However, unlike the Medic, I think Flak armour is a much better option for the Engineer. Why a better option? Well, many of the roles the Engineer plays involves repairing things which are under attack from explosive damage. Many vehicle and aircraft weapons do heavy splash damage. Even if you aren't the direct target, you're still going to be hit by a lot of splash damage trying to keep vehicles up. In addition, your principal support role in infantry combat is keeping maxes up. Whilst trying to do this, you're going to be subjected to splash damage from a whole range of explosives. Anti-vehicle grenades, C4, rockets, etc, etc. Maxes in particular are absolute lodestones for explosive damage. Therefore, for me, Flak armour is the best all-round suit slot for the Engineer class. Now the next thing to consider is the repair tool. Being the linchpin of the Engineer class, this is a necessity to upgrade. In addition, the early ranks are pretty cheap to upgrade, costing 10, 30 and 50 certs. Investing these 80 certs, taking you up to rank 4, will increase the speed of the repair tool by 20%. However, at this stage, the cost of upgrading it jumps considerably. The next two upgrades cost 150, then 500 certs respectively. This only increases you from 20% faster at rank 4 to 33% faster at rank 6. Now, in comparison to the medical tool upgrades, which go from 30% faster at rank 4 to 65% faster at rank 6, it's nowhere near as attractive. Though it takes longer to overheat with each upgrade, principally what you want to be able to do is repair as quickly as possible. Therefore, at the early stages of the game, only investing those initial 80 certs is probably worth it. Now the next thing to consider upgrading is the ammunition pack. At its initial rank, it only lasts 1 minute and you effectively have to stand directly over it to receive ammunition. Now how much you should invest in this very much depends on how often you intend to play the Engineer class. Now the reason for this is well placed ammunition packs can be an absolute cert goldmine. Though for the default ammunition pack you effectively have to stand directly over it to receive any ammunition. At higher levels you can capture an entire room, therefore massively increase the number of infantry you can resupply. However, the catch is you can't just put down an ammunition pack and then start playing another class. You have to stay as an Engineer, otherwise the ammunition pack disappears once you spawn another class. So to take advantage of the ammunition pack upgrades, you've got to be realistic with yourself, how often you're going to play the Engineer. If you intend to play it a lot, it's well worth investing quite a few certs in upgrading it to get this constant stream of income. But if you aren't going to play it a lot, then there's effectively no point. The default ammunition pack does the job if people really need ammo. It's just not a very good farming tool for certs. And if you are going to be playing the Engineer a lot and decide to upgrade the ammo pack, where's the sweet spot? Personally, I think taking up to rank 4 at an investment of 310 certs is the best way to go. You get a nice mix of much extended duration, plus increase in radius. It's a lot cheaper than maxing it out, 500 certs cheaper, and still gives you plenty of time to farm those certs. So that's the basics out of the way. But then you've got to ask yourself the question, what sort of Engineer are you going to play? So what do I mean by what type of Engineer do you want? Well, do you want one that can fortify bases by putting down anti-personnel mines? Perhaps focus on the Sundra, laying down mines around them, and dedicating yourself to protecting them with their top guns. Or perhaps dedicate yourself to tanks, being either driver or gunner. Whilst ultimately you should be able to unlock all the different tools you need to do these jobs effectively, to begin with, it's a question of priorities. So let's work through the options. Now, as a dedicated tank driver, you should be looking to upgrade your repair tool and unlock anti-tank mines. Now the repair tool upgrade is pretty self-explanatory. The quicker your tank is healed up, the quicker you're back in the safety of it, as opposed to outside in the elements. Now for anti-tank mines, it costs 100 certs to upgrade to the first rank, which gives you access to 2 anti-tank mines. This is handy as it takes 2 anti-tank mines to destroy a vehicle, so therefore they should always be placed in pairs. For now, ignore the second upgrade. This only gives you access to 1 more anti-tank mine, therefore not making up a second pair, therefore it's not worth the investment at this stage. Now the anti-tank mine works well for vehicle drivers for 2 reasons. The mobility of the vehicle gives you plenty of access to good sites to lay the mines. You can also use them more actively by trying to lay mines then goad enemy armour into them. You can also use them to protect your flanks. Therefore carrying anti-tank mines when you're driving synergize very nicely. Now if you're looking to mainly be fighting within bases, supporting maxes and other infantry, then anti-personnel mines are the best way to go. With these plus your mana turrets, you can help defend choke points. An anti-personnel mine will one-shot infantry who are not using flak armour. Hiding them around stairwells and in corners is particularly useful. Each empire has different anti-personnel mines, but the principle remains the same. They're also a good way of getting rid of particularly pesky infiltrators. And finally, if you're a real team player and want to set up and defend forward spawn points, then improved flak armour and improved repair tool are the best way to go. And for the icing in the cake, if you have access to mines, it's worth laying anti-personnel and anti-tank mines around the Sundra to further protect it. So, in conclusion, the engineer has an incredibly diverse set of tools, mostly based around explosives, which you can upgrade into. However, the cost of upgrading it all for a new player is incredibly prohibitive. For example, to become a dedicated demolition engineer, it's going to cost you a whopping 1,800 certs just to upgrade the tools to be able to carry enough C4. Therefore, when you're just starting to play, it's a question of prioritising what you want to do with the class as opposed to trying to upgrade everything. And hopefully these simple builds will give you a good basis of where you should be starting. Now my next episode I'm going to be looking at the Sundra. In the meantime, if you found this video useful or entertaining, please feel free to thumbs up, thumbs down, comment or subscribe as appropriate. Happy hunting and Pintpot out.